Hey everyone. So I'm Agustin Lavarello. I'm the tech lead at Mimic. And we're going to talk about scaling Ethereum development with trustless automations. Um, so yeah, I've been a developer for a lot of time now, and this is like a truth that automation is never prioritized. You enter like this endless cycle where you said, okay, I should automate this, I'm gonna do it later, I'm gonna do it later. But like in the end, you never escape manual labor. That's like a reality. And we've seen this at Mimic a lot of time, that Ethereum developers waste a lot of time on automating, trying to automate stuff. But there's some things that can go wrong. So we've seen this 90% of the time, that like there's a repeated process that you have to do maybe once a month, once a week, transferring some assets or collecting some other assets. This usually it's a waste of time. There's some manual intervention. Some people gather in a room or in a Google Meet. There's maybe a multi-sig. They have to review the transaction, sign it. They're moving like a lot of value, so they waste a lot of time, and also it's error prone. We've seen like developers transferring maybe some money to the same like contract, for example, for transferring USDC to the USDC contract, and you cannot like recover that. So maybe you build some custom scripts. Okay, this is a little bit better maybe than manual intervention. But the problem is that there's no standard way of like developing these scripts that do this automation. So the script starts growing, adding features. It's hard. You have maybe onboard new developers, and like the new developers like don't really know how that script works. So it's like it's unmaintainable and it doesn't scale well. Also, you rely on private data sources, so you have to start managing like API keys. Also, these data sources can be unreliable. So querying the chain for an RPC, maybe the RPC is down or it's not on the tip of the chain. So you have to start building like fallbacks. There's a lot of complexity in it. And as I said, they're unreliable. And like one of the worst thing is like storing the private keys in like the servers that you're gonna send the transaction. This like key usually has a lot of permission. If they hack this key, they can control part of your protocol or mint some RC20 token or whatever you're doing. So like it's really dangerous. And having like this key leaked, it's a critical mistake. So before talking a little bit about like how we got to the idea of trustless automation, let's look at what we have been building since 2021. So we built some on-chain recipes for different protocols. These recipes, they work really good. They were like all enforced on-chain. But the main problem they had that it was really hard to change. They were really coupled for what like that project needed at that time. And if they asked to change some configurations, we had to re-implement some part of the stack. The good thing is that we validate the idea. People were using it, and they were asking us to build more automations. But it didn't scale that well. So we got to the idea, okay, what if we can extract the configurations and make it that you can custom like and edit some of these configurations. So we did that in a second iteration, and in here, like different like our clients could like edit thresholds, the gas limit of the transaction that we were automating, the like access control. Volumes, everything. But the problem is that if they ask us to integrate, for example, another bridge or another DEX, it was really hard to do it for us. because they were really tight, highly coupled to the protocols. So we started thinking about how we can build this as a Lego, where we had different blocks. And in here, that's where we came out with like what we call the protocol connectors. These pieces, they connect and they abstract the way to interacting with these like different protocols for bridging, for swapping. This allowed us to create like a standard task that we developed for all of our clients. So for us, it was easier to automate because there was a single entry point, a single way of executing this task for every client. And then if they ask us to swap via 1-inch, we added the 1-inch connector, and the Paraswap connector, we could also add it if they ask us for that later. So it really allows us to model some really complex situations that our clients were asking. And what we have right now, it's like really, it's all open source. It's in our GitHub. You can like create your own automations and use it yourself. But it's really complex. So they really were depending on our support for building these automations. And sometimes they were asking for more use cases that we didn't have maybe the manpower to create them. A little bit of our track record. So we did 4 billion total of automated value. So 4 billion in value went through our protocol. 18 million transactions, and we did around 200,000 automated transactions and 300 million simulations. And we work with a lot of protocols that are leader in the industry, 1-inch, Paraswap, we work with Trust Wallet, Decentralized, The Graph, Rainbow Wallet. So we have been building since 2021 and learning a lot about how we can automate things for our customers. And with all the things that we learned, we want to open the playground. So why we want to do this? We see lots of developers facing these needs. There's no robust solution in the space, although there may be some. They don't fully, I think, understand the developer needs. And we think that the community is in need of a standard way of doing these custom integrations and tasks. So it's easier to maintain and build these tasks. So when we think about trustless automations, what are we thinking of? OK, there has to be a standard process. I already explained why we need this. Also, there must be like a low-level abstraction. So you don't, if you want to swap something, you don't have to like know about like how to swap via 1-inch or Uniswap or whatever exchange you want. It should be abstracted by the automation. You just want to swap, and that's it. And we should find the best route for that. The same for bridging, transferring, all that stuff. Trustless data sources, again, you don't want to rely on one private data source. So it should provide trustless data sources to query the chain. You might be want to like query prices. So the protocol should provide that. It should have decentralized execution. We don't want to rely on just one like machine running all the executions. If it has bugs or it's down, we like want to for our clients to still have this automated task working. There should be proper access control. We are moving value. We are handling value for a lot of people. So proper access control should be enforced. And I think this is key. There should be really, really good monitoring tools to know what your task is doing, how you're automating it, and everything it has done. So I'm going to introduce a little bit about the Mimic protocol. This is a 3-layer protocol, and this is what we have been building the last 6 months, so that with all the things that we've learned. So this is a 3-layer protocol. The first one is the planning layer, where you implement your own task. This is off-chain. We compile this task into WASM, so you can code this task in whatever language you want, as long as it compiles in WASM. And then you decide how to trigger them. It can be maybe on an event of the blockchain. It can be like a cron on a time schedule. It can be maybe on the balance of an address. You decide how to trigger them. And you from that task can access accurate data from oracles to get the price of the token or as an RPC. And you execute, like you delegate the execution to a network of relayers that they are gonna execute this WASM task for you. This WASM task, what it produces intents. So basically, with the intents, we forget about like how we interact with like Uniswap. We just say, okay, I just want to swap this for this, and then we have a network of solvers that will take those intents and compete to get the best quote, so that the user really gets the benefit. And when the intent is executed, basically the whole process is complete. But there's the most important layer, that it's the security layer. So the intents, they are executed via settler contract. This basically enforces that everything that the user said he wants to happen, it's going to happen and it's going to be enforced. So you can create custom safeguards on our settler, and all of this is enforced on-chain. So our goal at Mimic is basically to standardize how we automate tasks so that more people can come into the Web3 space and really focus on building great products and not to automate operational stuff. Great developer UX. You need to have like a curated source of data. Again, delegate execution, and we need to abstract complexity for the developers, so that, again, they can focus on building great product and not like automating some stuff. If you want to learn more, you can go to mimic.fi and the docs, or just like deep dive into the white paper. We are still building it. We will have a demo in ETHCC of how the protocol works. So if you're there, feel free to talk to me later, and I can invite you to the demo. And yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for listening. And I think we have some minutes for questions, if you have any.
I just start with an applause.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, August. Yeah, let's start with a Q&A session. Does anybody have a question? I do, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, do you see network, like, do you see chains long term staying siloed, or do you think they'll be unifying into one layer?
Okay.
Actually, so like, do you see the current dispersal of liquidity as a long-term problem, or is it just something that exists because we aren't just technically advanced enough at the moment?
I think we're not like technically advanced enough. I think it's going to be easier and easier to maybe prove liquidity on one chain and swap on the other one. There's a lot of technical solutions with like CK or things like that that can also, yeah, you can prove liquidity on one chain and use it on another one, and maybe we can automate a little bit of that process, hopefully, to make it easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a problem that we're having now, but eventually it's going to be fixed in the future.
Cool. Base rollups are a cool topic right now. So that's one way to solve it. I mean, it's science fiction right now, but the plan is like in 2027 to have like proving as part of the L1, like
Yeah.
proving execution. So that's going to be
sure.
cool.
I have
awesome.
one question for the audience. Who here are developers? Yeah, OK, not that much. But do you waste a lot of time on repeated tasks and trying to automate things? OK. You have the mic there.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, a little bit. We are doing some automation in our day-to-day tasks, but there is room for improvement, definitely.
OK, yeah. So if you find Mimic useful, come and talk to me after that. Happy to help.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
Is anyone here working on a DeFi protocol? Okay, you might be interested in talking with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Why
Yeah,
didn't you raise your hand?
So maybe these slides are a bit old because we have Paraswap there, and it should be called now Bellora. But yeah.
Awesome. Let's give another applause.
Thank you.